We'll jump into it right now.
Word.
1 2 1 2 1 2. What's the podcast? 1 2. What's the podcast? Episode 134. DJ Jerome begging the third. I woke up 20 minutes ago. It's a beautiful thing. Jesus.
On a beautiful Tuesday.
I guess so, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to my man. Always available. Hashtag Streetwear Eddie.
What's good?
I was joking about it being a beautiful Tuesday. It's actually a very cloudy Tuesday.
It's a good day to jump back in the bed after you just woke
Don't
up.
charge Abdul for sure. I mean, it's a high of 71 today.
Yeah.
Yo, Friday's going to be 85, though, which is real crazy.
Okay, shorts weather, we back?
I mean, we never left technically, but it is what it is.
White boys are always rocking shorts.
Always, always. They'd rather put on
20
like,
degrees.
Shorts. They'll put on shorts and a hoodie
And
instead
flip-flops.
of putting in flip-flops and walk down 14th Street with a beer in their hand.
In the snow. In the snow.
Listen, shout out to the pilgrims. They have, you know what I mean, do-rag activity.
Listen, they run to a different set of rules, man. You sometimes, I don't know. I kind of go with it. Listen.
I think that's
how you get it.
It's just their privilege. Their privilege allows them to do things because when they
don't even
that's
get cold.
A great way.
all of
to
a sudden
put it.
when the hypothermia kicks in and they have to, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
daddy has to pay the bill for whatever. There
It
you
is
go.
what it is.
But nevertheless, what's the podcast? Episode 134. We are back, moving and grooving, ready to rock.
Yep. Fuck Christopher Columbus.
Yeah. I mean, he, you know, again, man, I think we're at the point now where you're being willfully ignorant if you still believe anything you were taught about Christopher Columbus.
Yeah.
Like
and
my
Italians,
daughter,
relax. All right.
he wasn't
It's
even
not a
Italian.
He wasn't. No, yes, he was.
He's Portuguese.
Christopher Columbus is Italian.
He was Portuguese. I literally saw it yesterday.
Yeah.
Why
I
the
thought-
Italians feel like every time
Well,
you say
we were all
something
told.
about
That's 'cause we
Christopher
were all told.
Columbus,
Yeah.
No, we were all
they
taught
feel
that.
like it's a fucking thing against Italians.
Bro, we were all
relax.
we were all taught that.
That
you know what I'm
is
saying?
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you remember
Good to
like? See, I remember
Does it surprise you that what you were taught is complete bullshit?
not at all.
No, today it doesn't. But
Right.
Not at all.
when I was
Right.
in 11th grade and 12th grade, of course, I believed everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do remember that point in life when people try to say Italians weren't white though. Remember they'd be like,
they're
nah,
white.
she's
Nah,
not
I'm
white,
Italian.
she's Italian. Yeah, you know what I'm
Nah,
saying?
come
Like,
on. Wait, that line is still. They still try to run that line by you today, though.
I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, like even black dudes were like, "Nah, she not white. She's Italian. Relax, all right."
Yo, wasn't your man in the DMs like that?
Oh,
Shout out to our guy.
I'm just saying.
He sure
Well,
was.
People don't realize that you
It
could be white,
happens.
you could be white from anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You could be
Yeah,
white from white
yeah.
from anywhere. Italian is not a race, it's an ethnicity.
Nah, it's all good. Listen, man, I just find it incredible the lengths that people will go to cover up bad history, right? And the fact that people should know, like, come on, G,
No,
like,
Unless
They're
you're like a
just-
descendant from the Moors and you're Italian.
I mean,
I'm looking at. I
know what I'm
googled it.
saying?
You're fucking right. Cristoforo Colombo. His name is not even Columbus. It's Colombo.
I mean, you know, America, we just change everything. We change this motherfucker's name, everything.
Was not born in Genoa, Italy, and rather was a Portuguese nobleman who adopted the name when he moved to Spain and something. Either way, I mean, I already got the info I needed from it. He's fucking Portuguese.
yeah.
Holy
A
shit.
Spaniard Portuguese.
That whole episode of Sopranos where they went to war with the indigenous people for Columbus Day is all invalid now.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be
You still
honest.
can't tell them shit though.
Yeah, let's be honest.
still-
They-
It's
it
still
wouldn't.
Italian to them.
It wouldn't
Yeah.
matter to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their junior high level of education never really allowed them to think
Ooh.
deeper, or think critically, or anything like
Mm.
that. So, and shout out to people who love The Sopranos. I personally never watched.
Nah, it's a
4
great
minute-
show.
I never watched more than 4 minutes of it. You know what I'm saying?
No,
But,
it's a great show.
One of the best shows.
It's not for educational purposes.
Nah,
again, I'm just
strictly
ready for the
entertainment.
was ready for the black version of everything. You know what
Yes.
I'm saying? So,
Black
but
version of
nevertheless,
Wonder Years. Are we on it?
I mean-
I haven't watched it yet. I'd like to though.
Me neither.
I
It's
mean-
on my list of to dos though.
Yeah.
Godfather of Harlem's pretty close.
Maybe,
Godfather?
maybe. I don't watch
I mean, that's
that.
a
I don't
good
watch
show.
anything, but I'll take your recommendation. What's the podcast? Episode 134. Washington D.C. was on absolute fire this past weekend. Man, the highlight of the weekend, I honestly would say, is our homie Matthias, who he and
Also
I do
a partner of yours.
Yeah, I'm about to say we do.
Partner.
Yeah, business partner. We do Dollar Nikki together, which again is going to be this Wednesday. I mean, by the time you hear this, it's going to be too late. But oh my god, it's going to be the party of the year. Oh my god. He opened for Black Coffee. Black Coffee is a very, very, very popular South African house DJ.
Is he black?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the only reasons why I fuck with him, because you know what I'm saying, he's black.
All right.
Because I just don't like South Africa. The more I'm learning about South Africa, I'm like, God, this place sucks, bro.
It's like Columbus and Colombo.
Exactly.
You're learning more. Yeah.
I'm just like, why? Like, y'all should just riot them. Like, they
like push them motherfuckers.
No,
out.
the racism in South Africa goes even further than what we knew during Mandela's day. It's
still
like,
there. It never stopped.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
It's getting worse and worse.
What's up with y'all? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like. But nevertheless, Black Coffee was a headlining act. So Matthias was like, yo, come through, whatever. And man, it might have been 800 to 1,000 people out there.
It was a day party too.
It was 3 to 9, yeah. So a lot of the people that we know collectively over the course of years throughout the DC nightlife scene, but more so on the 18th Street Lounge side of things, were out there in numbers. I mean, I probably saw 100 people that I knew that were just like nobody. I just was very happy to see the mix of people. A lot of black people, Spanish people, white people, whatever, Asians. It was a great mix. Probably one of the best mixes I've seen of people at a venue out here in my 18 years of being in DC. Matthias killed it. Matthias is also opening for Kaytranada tomorrow at the Anthem. We'll be there for that too.
Okay.
And basically we were having a conversation before we started, in which Eddie and I were just talking about how as you open and for these artists, you kind of ascend to, more promoters' eyes are on you across the country, across the city, and it helps your stock as a DJ. Primarily if you're willing to put the work in that particular lane. So if you're a hip hop DJ who just happens to get these thrown on your plate and you're like, okay, cool, I can play some house records for 2 hours, whatever. But if you're saying I'm gonna now, make a house mix, maybe make a reel out of it, put out 3-4 edits, couple songs, the more you invest into that side of your artistry, then it allows you to ascend higher and higher on the totem pole of the dance sort of house music world. You know what I mean? And so
I didn't know that you and Matthias were like house DJs. I know you're like well-rounded DJs in terms of like you can play anything, but I just don't see. I don't envision like seeing either one of you opening up for like a exclusive house DJ. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I mean, I just think our ethos is just to be able to play everything.
That's amazing.
Right? It's just to be able to play everything well. And the more that you're open to doing that, then the opportunities. And I'm not saying he's doing it just because of the opportunity. I feel like he's.
I mean, it's always a little bit of both.
Well, yeah, for sure. But but genuinely, he's interested in the music. Like that dude loves.
Like
all
he's a
that
house
stuff.
head.
Yeah, but like if sometimes he'll be like, "Yo, Rome, I need like Pooh Shiesty or something like that," and I'm like, "Oh, he like doesn't have it," and I'm like, "Oh no, I get it. Like, it doesn't ring off the same for you as it does for me."
I mean, I feel like you kind of did that a lot early in your career too, during like the Napoleon days where the crowd was majority white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You played a good mix of everything. It wasn't like you weren't in your Pooh Shiesty bag then just because you got to play to your crowd, and that wasn't your crowd at the time.
It's got to be like a well-rounded set.
So you did a little bit of house, a little bit of, the cool out shit, jazzy shit. And but you could also get into the top 40 bag and some hip hop shit. But so I think that's been happening. I mean, even hip hop DJs that we know, like, I mean, if you think of like Clark Kent, you know what I'm saying? He was on here talking about playing at the Paradise Garage when he was a little kid.
Yeah, I feel like back in the day,
like,
it was like that.
What was at the Paradise Garage? Was it all house music or club music? It wasn't
Probably
hip hop. I don't think hip hop was even around at the time.
Disco. Club music, probably like a good mix of. I feel like it was a good mix of everything,
like funk and disco,
kind of like without hip hop though. You know what I mean? So,
or maybe the early stages of hip hop.
Well, plus as you age as a DJ, and you know the game is kind of controlled by promoters and stuff like that, people start to fall off, and so you have to make a plan to say where can I sort of stay consistent at, right? And so the kids want to hear hip hop, but the kids want to bring their cousin in the DJ, they want to bring their man in the DJ, et cetera, et cetera. But if you've built up a resume and if you have certain relationships, you're able to say, okay, let me focus on here, and you know you're still staying true to yourself. But we have to make decisions as artists, you know what I mean? And sometimes chasing that house bag is one that can extend your career another 5-10 years.
For sure.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
That's what we also saw in like COVID. Like, you know what I'm saying? When DJs started getting on IG Live and on Twitch, you know, you started seeing them play a lot more of what they really fucked with. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, even like D-Nice, he would just play R&B and old school shit for like hours and hours, and Clark played a lot of stuff too, like that wasn't necessarily like Reasonable Doubt, you know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like hip hop, even though he's known for making hip hop beats and producing hip hop records and kind of being a hip hop DJ for the most part today. But you know, he was really getting into his other bag, you know what I mean? Like shit that he fucks with and shit that he loves.
I mean,
you got to see that.
Yeah. I mean, Twitch just, again, D-Nice and Clark are leaders in that realm. So if you see them doing it, you're gonna just follow suit. This is what the guys who I look up to are doing. Yeah. So if you see D-Nice and Clark not playing top 40 hip hop and all that stuff, you know, and plus we all like music, but sometimes it's just not the right time or place to get that stuff off because it doesn't sell bottles necessarily. Right. But
you also like got into like these people's houses, like they were playing in their crib and playing music.
Yeah, for sure.
They were playing for themselves. You know what I mean?
I was playing with my daughter in the house 9 times out of 10, so I had to get creative with what I could play because the music's so loud, and I don't want her to hear you know, die, kill, N-word, B-word, nah, like let's get this funk and soul off. So you know, shout out to our guy Matthias, man. He's a big homie.
Congratulations.
Congrats to him. And
so tomorrow night is going down. Darling Nikki,
tomorrow night
is in the building.
Darling Nikki, Kaytranada will be around for sure. We don't want to like get in trouble.
Say.
He'll be in the city. Maybe he'll
be
stop
in the city. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But if you're hearing this, it's too late anyway. So
Eddie,
basically,
we gonna slide through.
Yeah, pull up.
I'll be there.
Are y'all still doing vaccination only? All that?
Nope.
Oh, you cut that?
Well, I mean, this is no shot on things. No.
No pun with the shot.
Right. We just became the only party at the venue that was doing it, and so at the time of making the decision, I thought we were ushering in everybody the decision for the whole venue. Exactly. Yeah. Whole venue's like, nah. You know what I'm saying? They're just like, we're just gonna basically ride it out until, which is fine. I respect their decision.
I mean, they get to business.
But for us, you know what I'm saying, we're a Wednesday night party. The least amount of sort of inhibiting factors, if you want to call it that, which I hate to label it, we can't have rain, we can't have snow, and we can't have anything that stops you from getting in necessarily. Now, I understand people's health, and I never want to put any money before people's health. But if that's the case, just stay home. You know what I'm saying? But the thing, too, that's rampant in DC right now is fake vaccination cards. They are everywhere. It is insane how many fake cards are in DC right now. So, you know, we just had this conversation yesterday. I mean, and really the Vax card isn't even hurting us so much as the chain supply issues that the world is having right now. The club can't keep any top shelf liquor. They can't get any top shelf liquor right now. Can't get any Casamigos.
Why is that?
42. It's all held up in like outside of Los Angeles.
Oh, it's all held up on a boat.
On these boats.
Yeah.
So like even like I talked to one club owner yesterday. He said, y'all ordered 10 cases of Casamigos. They sent us 2. And they were like, you got to make that work.
Where is that shit coming from though? If it's just sitting on a boat, like you don't have to ship shit from Mexico through a boat.
I have no idea, bro. But
you know,
maybe it goes through the port of.
It's also
LA.
like production facilities have been closed for so long.
Well, that's more understandable. But the boat shit is like that shit ain't coming from.
At the end of the day,
could be one thing, but other liquor could be coming in.
Well, here's the thing: is at the end of the day, it's still the chain supply. It still has to run a certain route. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
that's a fact.
So unfortunately, that's really gonna kill us. Like, I think we may even be stepping to the liquor store on our own today, or Costco, to try to be like, "Yo, what's
that's more
good?"
economical, to be honest.
It's more economical and it's also direct. Like, I was at a club. I DJed last night. The club had 50 bottles of Casamigos sitting right there. I was plotting on them bottles so heavy, but
you can't sell them in a different club, though.
I know,
legally.
man. Plus, it's mad Africans. They probably would have stabbed me in some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't trying to get murked for 2 bottles of Casamigos as I limp out of there. Lord knows I can't run.
What is Casamigos? What is that? A tequila?
Tequila, yeah. But it's
the
hot
George Clooney's tequila, right?
Yeah, I think he
George
was.
Clooney?
I don't know if he still is the dude, but he started it. It's the hot tequila now because basically the club set has realized that they can't pay for 42 or Clase Azul because those are just too expensive. And
they're not even black-owned tequila out there? No, right?
There probably is.
Probably not.
We should make that poppin'.
It hasn't been mentioned by a rapper yet.
Yeah,
that's all you gotta do. Happen. All right, we'll do it. What's a podcast tequila? What's a tequila?
What's a tequila? Yeah.
What's a tequila? You know what I'm saying? I feel like we have the network of listeners that can make it happen. So if
listen, the network is growing. The weekly numbers are going up.
Yeah.
Dead ass though. Like I know, I feel like with our network, you know what I'm saying, we just cover all, North Carolina, Brooklyn, New York, Connecticut, LA,
whole East Coast on lock.
Whole East Coast on lock. You know what I'm saying? So
speaking of North Carolina, we got the drop from our guy. Actually, Silent Time, you need to put that in at the beginning of this podcast. Somewhere in there.
We got the drop.
We definitely got the drop. Multiple drops from our guy Chase and Ross.
We got the drops. It's coming. Oh my goodness.
Priorities. So we gotta let that flow a little bit. We're
a
glimpse
sure.
into the drops from our guy.
Yeah,
we still gotta take a trip down there.
Yeah, North Carolina coming soon.
But listen, man, I like it. I like the energy we're getting from people who support us.
Yeah.
So if you got a drop, send it over.
Send the drops.
What is it? What's a podcast? IG or is it what's a podcast at Gmail? One of the two. I'm not
Whatever.
Sure.
I mean, listen,
or DM or hit us on the DM.
Yeah, if you want to get a hold of us, you figure it out.
Yeah.
Send it in either way. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We set our email address. Yeah, what's a podcast? IG works. Just DM us.
Okay.
Just DM us the drop.
Also, I know we missed it this week, but we'll be back next week. Poisonous Darts.
Oh yeah, we started off with a bang. We got a lot of good reception last week.
So
and then we dropped the ball this week.
Well, my excuse is Monday was a holiday, so
I was out of town.
Yeah.
Listen,
so
that's just very much in line with how we do things anyway.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Right when we get hot, we drop the ball.
You're like,
didn't we say it was gonna be bi-weekly?
Let's just chill.
Nah, I think we said it was gonna be weekly.
Let's not respond to the text messages.
I thought it was bi-weekly.
Yeah, all those DMs that got sent about that, you got no response. It was quiet. Like, yo, where's Poisonous Darts?
Yo, episode 134.
Crickets.
What's the podcast? Some news surfaced yesterday about Grandmaster Jay, who is the leader of the largest black militia. I believe they were presenting themselves in force heavily last year in Louisville, I believe. And he has been brought up on some charges that he basically claims are just a good old case of racism.
Of course.
Which does not surprise me at all. The get back in this country is always, you know what I'm saying? Like the Pilgrims they're about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it was the largest black militia. I remember seeing them, man. They were really getting it popping. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, it was incredible to see that many black, and you know what? That's what scared America. You know what I mean? Grandmaster Jay and the NFAC coalition militia, which NFAC actually, the name alone is just amazing. Not fucking around coalition.
Yeah,
like that. That's the best name for a militia, hands down. But yeah, it looks like he's about to get prosecuted by the federal government for I think he pointed his gun at some police officers that were on stakeout on top of a roof or some shit, like, which he claims never happened. But it just goes to show you the how white men who are allowed to kill a police officer raid and fuck up federal buildings, the Capitol to be specific, and nothing happens, right? Like those just get brushed off to the side. And then there's this one guy you've just now fixating on because you see a large number of black men and women come together with guns. And now that's a scary sight for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe that, again, the biggest thing that scares the people in power is just seeing the people motivate, unite, and, you know what I'm saying, like, organize.
Yeah.
And I believe that, you know, we're still operating in a system in which there are consequences, but only for certain people, right? And the certain people tend to be people of color primarily, and a lot of that tends to be black people. And so, you know what I'm saying, like, say your prayers, Grandmaster Jay.
Yeah.
Obviously,
he's facing
you know,
up to 27 years in jail for that.
That's
and
crazy.
the thing I feel like is they're making an example out of him. They're trying to give him all those years so that they're like, hey, don't be the leader of the
NFAC.
resistance.
Yeah.
No, of the resistance.
The militia.
Any
militia.
resistance.
We see all these movies and video games and talk about the militia, the resistance, and the revolution will not be televised. But when the revolution is here, now all of a sudden it's nothing to joke or laugh or game about anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to understand the sacrifice that it takes to help change this world. And there's going to be consequences, and people aren't going to play fair. And so if that's the case, you need to be prepared. And I'm not saying he did anything wrong. All I'm saying is that you have to know that at this time, they're still going to react swiftly. Now, if you had 500,000 people in the streets right now protesting against his false imprisonment or these false charges, completely different story. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, we're still here looking at the coach from the Raiders being fired because of dumb emails he said. We're looking at the R. Kelly fallout. We're looking at
10
all
years
sorts
ago, right? The coach for the Raiders.
Yeah, but the thing about it is we're just looking at all these other things that definitely are important.
Super important.
They keep us distracted and not unified. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's unfortunately we're going to need to unify to help my man avoid that 27 years. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of other people as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is the same sort of shit we've been seeing for fucking decades, man. You got rich white women who cheated the system to get their kids into college and got a slap on the wrist, pretty much. And then you have a black mother who put a different address on her kid's enrollment form so her kid can go to a school in a better school district, and got like,
she got 5 years,
5 or 7 years. It was something crazy.
That was the woman in Texas, right?
Yeah,
black woman in Texas. Yeah, she got 5 years.
5 years.
Which that's
some
fucking
bullshit.
For trying to have a better future for her kid or go to a school where they actually like teach your kids.
Yeah.
For being a good parent.
Give an address of somewhere else. And then
probably somebody she knows.
And then you got these white families who lied.
Well,
cheated,
they're paying money.
Off, bribed of school officials, and there's a whole fucking big conspiracy behind it.
Yeah, celebrities, all that.
They got like slap on the wrists, pretty much.
Oh, listen, it's not even celebrity. I see it in the neighborhood where I stay.
No, I'm saying, but the people that got caught doing it on like for colleges and shit, some of them were celebrities, all that.
Bro, but the illest shit is this. And this is literally where I stay. School is bilingual, right? And a lot of the parents use the school because it starts at pre-K 3. So pre-K 3, 4, 5, everything is half Spanish, half English all day long, right?
Right.
There's a large amount of Hispanic families that go to the school, and there is like a private Facebook group that addresses some of the issues that these parents are having, and the racism is flying all throughout the Facebook group. So much so that the parents are like, we basically use up the school for its resources, pre-K 3, 4, 5, pre-K 3, 4, kindergarten 1, 2. Then they start to take their kids out of the school when there's too much, sort of like when the work gets too hard for the parents to do, they just pull their kids out and send them to like some super expensive private school.
It's like
a track record. It's like a thing that they all do and organize to do.
It's also like when at pre-K 3, 4, kindergarten, the kids are a little bit too young to really understand what's going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that parents, I think white parents specifically, do not mind their kids mixing with other children at that young of an age. But the second when you're like 6 or 7 and you can start making decisions and things start changing amongst children, at that time they feel like, yo, I'm going to take my kids out and maybe be around my own people. But I mean, listen, at that time too, it could go either way, because at that time, at that age, you also, it's the time when kids learn the most, and maybe, you know, they do it for educational purposes and they're like, yo, I want to have my kids be in a better school. Who knows? Who knows the reason? But that is the time I've seen, you're right, a lot of parents yank their kids out of school to move them to a different district or to a different school or go private during that age group. It's funny how this shit works, man.
Well, the only people doing that are people of color. The black people and the brown people. We're not doing that.
No, we're not doing that.
We're riding out the public school system. You know what I'm saying? Particularly through elementary school, at least.
Yeah.
Right. Like junior high, I can't speak on in high school.
Well,
whatever,
our kids aren't in junior high yet. We'll have to cross that bridge.
Cross that bridge, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, it's just very interesting to see people sort of. It was all good a couple years ago, and now there's backlash. Now it's too much Spanish. Now it's too many. You know, too many. Whatever the case may be.
Like you put your kid in a Spanish school, and now it's too much Spanish.
Right.
Talk to me, dog. Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing these parents in the neighborhood. I just be looking at them like, y'all are trash, bro. You know what I'm saying?
This is just the boldness of people who come from outside and try to change things.
Absolutely.
It's just that privilege, man. It's that privilege.
Fucking privilege, bro.
It's the privilege.
Listen, man, black privilege coming 2025.
No. Coming very soon. Like the next few months. We gotta start that. Talking about it and preaching it, and Black excellence has already been around.
I think that's going to be the third movie that I'm going to write, though. Black privilege.
All right.
Because everything is just.
The first one is what? Is Mesa, Arizona?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And what's the second one?
The Black Eye Wins. You know what I'm saying? The Black Eye Wins.
All right.
That's the title, right? Because you know that from the fucking jump. Like it ain't no shit that like that whole, you know what I mean? Just boom, the Black Eye wins.
He's not getting killed out in the first scene.
Not at all. You feel what I'm saying? Or if it is, it's like he dies in the first scene, but it's like, how did we get here? Boom, whole 2 hours of just
him winning.
Yeah, it's the prequel to the beginning scene.
Exactly. You know, it's going to be so disrespectful. Oh my God.
I like it already.
God.
Oscar winner.
Oscar winner, Michael B. Jordan. Be ready, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's who you got going for, Michael B. Jordan?
He's I just, you know, because I need somebody. It's gonna be like a real black situation. Yeah. He's like that guy right now. I don't know if you guys saw the NBA commercial he did. The people are loving that commercial.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Michael Jordan wasn't in that commercial.
I don't remember why they said he wasn't in the commercial.
Oh, there was a reason.
There was a reason.
Brought it up. Okay.
Yeah. No, it was a huge reason, honestly, because people were like, "Yo, where's MJ?
Yeah, why is he not in there?"
Yeah, for sure.
That's the first thing I thought about when I watched it.
So Mesa, Arizona coming, then the Black Eye wins, then Black privilege. Like Jordan Peele, holler at me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Jordan Peele, come through. Denzel.
But tell Spike to call me too. Yeah, Denzel. It's gonna be all just urbanness. You know what I'm saying? I hate that word.
It needs to be a fully.
Urban is like the most disrespectful thing.
We're having urban night at the club. It's like, what? Oh, black people tonight. Got you. Yeah, for sure.
That's so fucked up.
Who started that? Who started urban?
I mean, some colonizer had to be. Yeah, right. I'm in a NBA fantasy group, and my name in the fantasy group is The Black Man is God, and I got the first round and the first pick. So I'm gonna pick, like, my whole team's gonna just be like the illest. I'm gonna change my name every week to good black people shit. It's gonna be tight. So if you play fantasy basketball, let me know. Episode 134. What's the podcast?
We're here.
There was a tremendous story, if you want to call it that, article. Complex Sneakers broke. I believe this was Monday. So Monday, basically about Nike and sneakers app and their team. It. Well, they just were addressing the fact that supposedly they realized that they're now losing consumer confidence to other brands, and basically it was some guy named Ferris, who is like the VP of Sneakers app or something like that, or the president or whatever.
Global Sneakers app.
Ron,
he's a very big deal.
Ron Ferris, I believe, is his name, and they had a bunch of different articles and internal information that Complex was privy to, They basically said like, yo, we know we're losing people to New Balance. They want customers on the sneakers app to hit at, I believe, between 70 and 85% clip. People are currently hitting at a 7% clip on the sneakers app. And that accounts for hype stuff, general releases, whatever the case may be. It's a 7% clip. And they specifically named New Balance as a brand that they're losing consumers to.
I mean, New Balance has been hot.
But now let's be honest though, getting New Balance on their site too is definitely a difficult. It's a difficult thing. Like that protection pack on the New Balance site was a shit show, and even like some of the ALD stuff is tough to get. But what I think people are doing, what I believe, and I'm trying to stop saying I think, what I believe is that is culturally, New Balance is hitting a home run out the park every single time.
Well,
right?
also, it seems like you don't just rely on the New Balance. I don't think I've ever been on a New Balance site to like buy sneakers.
Like buy a pair of shoes off newbalance.com.
They're actually a little bit more readily available with retailers. Yeah. And that's a partnership that we've seen decrease with Nike over the last year or maybe a couple of years, because everything is starting to move direct to consumer from Nike. So they're trying to take some of that money away from mom and pop shops that have been closed down, and some of these neighborhood accounts
like who need
not
the
been
money,
getting the product that's out there.
Yeah. Well, again, I think I believe it's twofold. One, Nike, their plan is sort of backfiring, right? Yeah. I believe that they didn't realize how important it was to not just create a video about, you know what I'm saying, something, but to actually have people who made your products hot for the last 30, 40 years. Yeah. They're the ones that people can come into a store, touch the shoe, see it, feel it, try it on, match it with a fit. That's what gets people invested in your brand. They just had a video this morning about like the Air Max BW and how important it is to like Danish techno music. Like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, that's cool, but that's not.
But when I think Air Max BW, I think Stash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not even because Stash did a colorway per se, but Stash did do a colorway. He
bodied
for sure.
That colorway.
He bodied it.
Yeah.
So why are y'all doing? Yeah, I get it. You want to have a world reach with this, but it's like literally Danish techno music from 30 years ago, and it's like, that's not the kid in the hood that is going to make your sneakers look hot as he's waiting at the bus stop to go do X, Y, and Z.
You know what? You also just touched on something that was also in that article, if I remember correctly. The guy Ferris also brought up wanting to embrace or actually make sure people of color were more inclusive on the sneakers.
He did say that.
Right?
He did say that.
He said
brown and black
about black and brown people,
black and brown communities. Yes, he did.
I love that. I love that Nike is seeing that, and they're starting to understand that this thing was built on the shoulders of black and brown men and women who led fashion, who led entertainment, who led athletics, and the rest of the world. Suburban white people followed suit to what was what that trend that was created by black and brown men.
Here's my thing: don't talk about it, be about it. Right? Nike, y'all got all the resources in the world to make anything happen. Yeah. Y'all are a small country at this point. You know what 100%. I'm saying? Like, y'all are a small country in Oregon. I mean, and so the fact of the matter is, you realize who made you hot, and you turn around and you're not getting the job done. And he even, now to his credit, he stated that people are also not getting the shoes because the supply isn't there. Right. Yeah. He did note that the supply isn't what people think it is. That, you know, it's not like, but again, these are also excuses that they're going to make one way or another.
No, but that's real too. Like exclusive shoes don't come in the same numbers that like general release shoes do.
But again, it's only exclusive because of how you frame it. If you
that's real.
If you put the Wu-Tang colored dunks in foot actions across the country, is it exclusive anymore? Do people want it because they can get it? You understand what I'm saying? Like, if you put 100,000 pair, 200,000 pair in the fucking Midwest, right? Kansas, Omaha, shitty places like that, right? I've been to Omaha. I know what I'm talking about.
Abdul's going out there to buy them all.
But all I'm saying is that at that point, the employees don't really give a shit about trying to resell them because there's too many to resell. There's no flip, right? And now you're literally putting your money behind your own promotion and your own product. Like not the scarcity model, but more so the model of this is actually a dope product.
Yeah.
Does that sell the same way as a shoe that's hyped? And I think they have to get off. I think it
sells better,
but they never try it.
Because I mean, obviously,
when's the last time you walked? But when's the last time you could get a dunk in foot action at 2 p.m. on a Saturday? See, that's the problem. They maybe forget
like 15, 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. They forget that was the whole model. Was your mom didn't drop you off at the mall till like 12.
No, you used to be when dunks were crazy. You used to be able to get dunks at like Journeys. Like you could get dunks everywhere, and
I'm saying like junior high school. My mom was dropping me off the mall at 12. I'll be back to come get y'all at 4. Here's $20. I'll get yourself something to eat. And all you're doing is hitting every store with no money in your pocket.
Looking at all the shoes that you
looking to get shoes and waiting to get fresh and being like, yo, when she come pick you up, like, yo, mom, saw X, Y. You don't get that feeling no more. You know what I'm saying? And that helped Nike. That's why people had Nikes on the wall and Jason Kids and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, everything's changed though. Like the consumer that was around 15 years ago has probably risen in numbers 100 times and more. You know what I'm saying? The numbers he was given that hit the sneakers app, like 1.69 billion or some shit.
That's crazy.
Like I think that's what he said. Like
that's real though. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that number is just insane on its own. Trying to get even if it's 10,000 pairs. You know what I mean? That number is just fucking insane. The odds of you winning the lottery are probably better.
But what I'm saying is what y'all thought was gonna happen, not y'all, but what they thought was gonna happen with the online thing, it backfired. It completely backfired.
And I agree.
They abandoned the culture in lieu of like, let's just try to get StockX white boys. Right.
But that's why you make a good point. It's more efficient and better to get some of this product out to some of these brick and mortars that you have, and they're geographically dispersed around the whole world. You know what I mean? That way people actually have a better, if I'm here in DC and I'm no Major got him, Atmos got him, Manier got him, Commonwealth got him, like my chances of getting the shoe actually are a lot better than me being on a fucking app with 1.69 billion people trying to get fucking a few pairs of sneakers.
Well, especially for you.
That's a fact.
Especially for you.
But I mean, this internal.
Abdul got all the size 9s at all those stores.
Man, listen.
Except for Manier.
Yeah, Manier hasn't showed us any love, man. That's
all right. We need to run it back. We need to run it back.
We need to go back there.
Yeah, we need to go back.
Okay, I'm with it.
And I think it's the only black owned sneakers, like urban sneaker store out of those four.
And
still showing you no love.
Showing us no love, man. God damn.
Cuz don't be in DC at all though. So if he was
Cuz
in DC,
don't seem like the type of showing love type.
Neither does anybody from the shop is not from here.
Yeah.
So
but you know,
I don't think any of the owners
they don't know the historical value of the three of us, son.
You know, I mean, listen, if he were to tap in, he would really see what's good. No bullshit. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
I don't think he cares. I think he's too zoomed out.
Of course.
Nah, he gonna care. Listen, they gonna try to open in Baltimore. He better care. You know what I'm saying? Like I was just in Baltimore.
It's real out there.
Yeah, you're not pulling that bullshit in Baltimore. And no disrespect to DC either. I'm not saying.
I mean,
DC.
just the brands he carries is going to bring a certain demographic of people to shop there anyways. I mean, he's the only spot in DC you could get like Amiri jeans and like men's Dior shit and all that shit. Like they're coming.
Nobody buying that shit.
No, they are buying it. They're coming.
But
go to the club on Friday, Saturday, Sunday night.
Okay, but here's
they wearing it. They buying it.
That's DC. That's DC.
Baltimore too.
Not Baltimore, you're gonna have to tap in with them people. Like you're gonna have to really be in the mix with them people, bro.
Yeah.
Because
you better have some white tees on.
Like the people that work at Manier, does anybody ever see them in the streets ever anywhere?
Nah. I mean, when Abdul and I went, like I said, I barely recognized a girl. She liked my hat or some shit, and it just was very like, okay, y'all don't really be out like that. You know what I'm saying?
They don't.
I mean, they ask for your ID to enter the store, which is.
At that point, you should have recognized who the fuck I was. You feel what I'm saying? But nevertheless, you know, what I think it is, man, is is that Nike just needs to, like, it is about the product, but I believe they realize that losing the culture has now led to people not caring so much about the product. When you see those ALD New Balance, they are selling you on the whole Italian or whatever Teddy Santis is. They're selling you on the whole lifestyle, the whole
Greek
fit
or some shit.
Greek. The whole fit is like the shoes are a compliment to the fit. He's selling you on his deep grandfather's olive oil trees and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? it's like, oh my God, I need these $550 so I can buy these $180 sweatpants to go with this $500 cardigan, $90 t-shirt.
Yeah, you need the whole kit.
$800 overcoat, and you're like, you know what? I fucking need that because I'm Greek, and that makes me feel
$3,000 later.
Yeah, that makes me feel like I'm part of the culture now. But like I said, I'm just watching a video on Air Max BWs about Danish fucking techno music, and it's like, bro, why do y'all not have Stash sitting out of what used to be Nort Recon and just talking his shit?
Yeah.
Why? Like, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna tag sneakers in this. And you know what I'm saying, we're gonna get a response, B.
This was a good article though. I really like getting that sort of inside information. I don't know how shout out to Brendan Dunn who wrote this article. I don't know how you got your hands on this information, but come on the show and explain it, man.
Shout out. I saw his tweets. That's what kind of led it off. Then I shared it in our group chat just so. Yeah,
well, you shared the article, but what was his tweets talking?
Oh, his tweets were just very like Nike blah blah blah, and then he was just introducing the article basically.
Okay.
So in other Nike news, this is obviously.
Hold on, did you get your hands on a pair of the BWs?
I passed personally.
I mean, the BWs out there. You can still get them.
I got them.
Go to Lapstone and Hammer's website. They got them there right now.
Yeah, St. Alfred. They got them.
Yeah, they got them right there, and they got Air Max 95s. I mean, they're there, and that's what happens when you go to retailers because you go on Sneakers app, everything's sold out.
Yeah,
but if you're able to look around to these sort of retail locations that Nike
mom and pop stores
that really tell a story, you're able to go in there and look at product. You're able to talk to people in there. You're able to find out more about the story behind the shoes just from the people working there. You know what I'm saying? Like. That's what the shit is really about, man.
Yeah, they're taking away all that.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
But I hope this shit changes. I kind of like this dude Ferris a little bit more just from reading the article, just because he was able to identify some of these key things that we've been talking about.
You have to know. I mean,
yeah, but sometimes they're just in a bubble where they don't give a fuck. They're tunnel vision or like. The strategy of the company is we're going direct to consumer. I don't give a fuck about nothing else. We've already closed down mom and pop shops that have been around for 40, 50 years. Like, we've already stuck the knife in their fucking neck. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people helped us get there, but fuck them. So at this point, I'm ready to say fuck them, everybody. You know what I mean? Sometimes these are the mentalities of these sort of companies. But, I mean, I hope things get better. And I hope a lot of people do leave the Sneakers app. I'm not leaving. I hope that increases my odds of fucking getting a shoe. When you leave, I needed to go down like from 1.6 billion. I needed to go to like 800 mil. You know what I'm saying? Like half of the people need to drop off of sneakers. And I think my odds increase a lot better. I mean, that's a 50% better chance of me getting the shoe.
Just looking before we move on to more Nike news, but just as you look through the site, I believe where they got fucked up was it just became about like consumerism. It just became a culture of buy. You know what I'm saying? What you got is one of the articles they highlight consistently, which is just people literally being like, these are the Nikes that I've been buying for the last 15 years. Right. A whole shoe wall full of Nikes. I think the kid today is from Arizona, actually. But it's just about buy.
Are you talking about that What You Got segment, like the one that our guy Cousin B was on? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, okay. Yes. It's a fucking pissing contest.
Yeah.
I got this, you don't got this, I got this. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can only, you know what I mean? And it's like the kick check, more sneakers. It's this week in sneakers. Here's shit you can buy. Like, it's just literally consumerism at its worst. And
most of those people that are on that show, they didn't really like have to like hunt and find them shits anyways. Somebody sent them a package or they on some kind of list.
Nah, some of them, I mean, some of the stories behind them are interesting. They're I chased it down and I did this and I went to this.
Some of them.
Yeah.
But again, to me, it's more regardless of how you got it. All you're showing is that it's just about buy. Right. And like people would be willing to buy this stuff now if they can get their hands on it. Tell this, like you said, tell the stories of the people that 40-year, what's it next year's 40 years of Air Force One? Yeah. That shit better be stellar.
They better come correct.
they better first.
You got to live up to that, man.
We got
40
ideas.
Years.
We got ideas. If we're not doing the official Nike podcast from Baltimore,
it needs to happen. Listen, I'm gonna call Paul Blinken up, man. We're about to open up Cinderella shoes and do a live podcast from there.
Listen.
All right.
We got ideas, people. We got Nike. We got ideas. All right.
Nike. Holla at us.
Remember, we're doing the official. We're the official podcast sponsor of Complex Con.
Yes.
So you know what I'm saying. November 6th and 7th.
Yeah, that's fucking right.
We'll be doing a remote. Abdul's hosting Complex Con.
We're selling sauces.
Jerome is
doing
the official Complex Con DJ.
I'm the DJ.
We got
the host.
Streetwear Eddie hosting all streetwear related. Listen, we're out here.
So just and not even. I don't even think Nike could have paid for the promotion. And really had a better day because in one instance you have all this information about Sneakers app, and in the second instance you have Virgil going absolutely bananas in the comment section of this guy's post on the Air Jordan 2.
Yeah, and
then he proceeds to just open up the entire bag of tricks with the design, with his opinion, he just the marketing, whether it was on purpose or not, was stellar. So basically. There's a shoe user. His name is like Snow Collard 93 or some shit like that. I don't remember his name.
His name is Sean. It's S Collard 23.
S Collard 23. I was close.
No,
S Collard 23 basically puts up a pair, and at that point, it gets a bunch of recognition. Boom. People are making their comments. Next, Virgil chimes in and replies to about 7 or 8 different.
He commented a lot, and he was just responding to everybody.
But again, he was responding, and then at the same time, Virgil has a website, public domain, which is so Virgil has a company called Architecture, which is his team of people that work at Nike. Their website is called Public Domain. He basically uploaded all of the files that went into making the shoe onto this website. It's public dot domain, I believe is the website or something like that. Some shit, .com. And no, public domain.com. So basically you go on there, you can literally see all the files from Adobe Illustrator. It's a ill sort of experience that I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to like say, hey man, these are the files. You see our way of thinking. You see what we were doing in terms of trying to make this happen.
Yeah.
And basically he basically explained that they took a shoe from 85 or 86, one of Jordan's game worn shoes. They screened it, and that's how they came up with the sole, which is like supposed to be look like it's cracking. They took 3 or 4 different versions of Michael Jordan. That's on the white pair, white sort of off-whitish pair.
I think they're all like that.
Are the black ones like that too?
Yeah,
the black
ones
all
have the same sole, but I mean,
it's black though.
The specifications of what he did with the shoe is pretty close to the actual original. I mean, somebody was like, "Yo, finally the toe box is correct," and Virgil responded to the guy and was like, spent 4 sample rounds on the toe box itself. It's the toe box. Go ahead.
Are they made with Italian leather? How the first white and red pair were made?
You know what? He didn't specify.
Because the first ones were made with the top made in Italy. Yep.
Yeah.
But those were like 500 though, weren't they?
I don't think they were back when they first came out. They just were regular, like probably like 125 or something. With
They were regular.
But they were the all white red high tops were made in Italy.
Yeah. You know what? And the Jordan 2 has always been a very underrated Jordan to me, actually. As well.
I only like the low tops. I can't really fuck with the high tops.
I like the low tops only as well. I don't fuck with the highs. It just that Jordan logo on the tongue on the highs just looks so silly to me.
It just looks fake.
Yeah, it looks fake. Exactly. Yeah. It looks fake. But it was good to see Virgil come in here and talk to the people about it. Our guy John Gotti had asked, I'd be more excited at the prospect of the GR version with the same attention to details as the off-white joints. And Virgil responded to him, Jordan knows I'm killing it without me, though. They're all kids like us, best company. So it looks like the Jordan 2s that are going to follow are going to have some sort of the same sort of attention to detail as these off-white pairs, which is good to know. I mean, we all want something.
So he says,
and it's out of his control. He can only control what the
as long as they get the toe box right. As long as they get the toe box right, they can do whatever.
That's a big part. I mean, we talk about the shape of Air Max 1s. We talk about the shape of Air Force 1s, and constantly, well, not me particularly, but a lot of people do, right? Yo, the shape is off, and if he's paying this sort of attention to the Jordan 2, and trying to make it as close to original as possible, I respect that. I like that. He still needs to pay April Walker for biting her logo, though.
Who?
Virgil.
Did she comment on that on her Drink Champs episode?
Yeah, she did. She brought it. Well, he brought it up. Nori brought it up to find out what was going on with it, and she said that.
What logo was that?
There's a WW logo that.
She did a varsity jacket.
Yep, they did a varsity jacket, and
all his logos and shit is bites though. Like the X with is like an old 8th Street skate logo. Public Domain is like the name of like an old Powell skate video. Like all his shit is like a subtle bite.
Except this one was fucking trademarked, so he might be in a little bit of trouble. I don't know if those other companies are even around anymore. The public domain and those skate companies, they might not be around.
They're probably not.
He probably has some sort of leeway to getting away with it, but
yeah.
Walkaway is still very much around and had a resurgence a few years ago. They did big numbers during when Mike Tyson fought that shit. Mike Tyson wore Walkaway back in the day, right? Entering the ring.
Yep.
Jay's worn it back in the day, and
Tupac, all
these people, and so she tried to get in a hold of him and talk this out and figure things out. Now it's going through lawyers, and she's suing not only Off-White but also Saks. Like, what I'm saying? I like it. I hope she wins.
I don't think she'll win, but I hope she does.
think they're just gonna pay her off. I mean, honestly,
listen, that's winning.
She'll settle.
Paying her off, paying off is winning.
Winning, yes, there is a monetary, but winning is actually when you're able to get the collab with him, and then that generates.
Well, I think he should offer that anyways. I think that's what he should do, is offer her the collab or give her a job.
I mean, listen, I can't speak for what that. All I'm saying is that to me, yes, financial settlement, cool, whatever.
She probably doesn't want to work with him though.
Where he stands right now, in terms of popularity and just overall reach, that could help her stay relevant for another 5-10 years.
Yeah, I mean, she seems too original to work with somebody like him.
I'm not mad at her at all for having her feelings and her views, but what I'm just saying is it's a business, right?
Yeah.
Take the money for sure.
Yeah.
But
I'll take the money over the collab.
But what I'm saying is you get the collab because, like, for instance, Futura had the collab. Not to say that
you talking about North Face?
No, Futura did an Off-White.
With the the Off-White.
He had a 50-piece collab or something like that.
Yeah, you're right.
And Futura has been on fire for the past 4 or 5 years in the clothing space. But to have that feather in your hat is just it really will help you sort of continue to ascend, is all I'm saying. So
I get your point.
Whatever she wants to do is more than up to her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I do like Virgil's sort of transparency with
me too. I appreciate
with these questions and answering people, and just sort of like technically, really, bro, that's how you keep people involved and caring and engaged.
Yeah. And
right? Because I think
you know what else you get from that, Jerome and Eddie, is the motherfuckers that hate you when they see you being regular like this and just
like a regular human.
They somehow ease up on some of that hate they
Absolutely.
had in their heart.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what was funny too? We didn't mention it. Is the guy Ron Ferris was speaking about how much they felt like it was a win with the Off-White Dunks release.
Yeah.
I think he was like, they do 500,000 pairs, something like that. And he was very much like, look at the success of that. And again, it's just like, bro, you guys are only talking numbers. You're not talking people. You have to talk people.
I think he was referring to people in that as well, because if you look at it, I think he was saying, why don't we model everything sort of like the same way we did this? And if you look at it, Jerome, you won. I think Tom won. Our guy, Big Dave Ostroff, won. Eddie, didn't you win a pair?
Nah.
I think you and I were the only people that didn't fucking win. Everybody
Little Omar hit twice.
Kellen won, yeah.
Kellen won.
But also, we're talking about
Mike won.
50 different styles of shoes with probably like 5,000 each. You know what I mean? So it's not like everybody's trying to get that Jordan 1. There's 50 fucking different shoes to choose from.
Sure, but
You know?
it's people within our like sort of who love the same way we love that were winning. It wasn't just StockX white boys. You know what I'm saying? It was.
I mean,
like,
truth be told, I don't think anybody we know kept them or wore them.
Our friends
saying.
are the StockX white boys.
I'm just saying.
Jerome?
I don't think anybody that we know that hit kept them and wore them.
I got
Just
my
saying.
pair from Ugly Mike. He won his, and I bought my pair from him.
I would have worn them.
Yeah.
If I hit, I wear all the. I mean, I don't. Yeah, I wear all my shoes. I never hit on a pair of shoes and just sold them.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing with that was it was perceived as a come up, and I don't know if the come up really came up for as many people.
That's the same problem everybody has with the sneakers app is that every release is perceived as a come up, and everybody sales them and drives the price up. So,
and that's why I'm saying the only way to defeat that is to put the shoes in the mall,
or just don't. Yeah, I mean, like, or
in the hands of retailers. It doesn't
if you
even need
hit
to be in the mall.
If you hit, wear them.
All I'm saying is
don't buy them if you don't want them.
But the only reason why I say the mall is like you get the non-sneakerheads in the mall. You get what I'm saying? You just get the people that are going to PG Plaza on a Saturday to be fresh. They're going to Iverson Mall. They're going to Military Circle.
Yeah,
they're going to all these sort of really urban centers. And I know malls are dying. Like I'm not aware of that. But you put them in these places that the average Joe Schmo gets it, and you're not so much worried about because there aren't boutiques everywhere, right? We're seeing a lot of resale places, but there aren't necessarily boutiques everywhere. Sure. So again, for the kids that live in certain places, it's going to be more difficult, right? I was surprised by how many resale places are in Norfolk. Like there's a ton.
Because that's the only place you could get hot shit.
I'm just saying, right? Like I was just like, holy shit, y'all are really rocking down here. You know what I mean? And like, but if you make the playing field a bit more even, which again comes down to it's not about where you put them, it's about the numbers. If you make a shit ton of, if you make 2 of those off-white dunk colorways, but you make 500,000 of them, and you say, yeah, we're gonna put them in boutiques, put them in the mall, put them where everybody can get them, I guarantee you'd have a lot more happier people.
You'd have a lot more happy people, but part of the whole sneaker culture is having shit. Is having shit that's a little bit rare and a little unattainable. That's part of it. That's the draw that got most of us into it when we were younger, like the search and try to get shit that everybody didn't have. So if you eliminate that, then it's you kind of kill. But
at this point, you got to eliminate it because now y'all scared that you're losing money to New Balance, and it's like, bro, New Balance doesn't put out that many shoes. They've just said, yo, we're more connected culturally. We have people more invested in the actual brand itself than the juggernaut that is Nike, right? So yes, the hunt and all that was cool at 15, maybe 21, whatever the case may be. But at 41, I want to get up. I want to grab my kid. We're going to take us a nice ride out to Tyson's. And I want to see 4 pair of shoes that I want on the wall.
It's not going to happen.
Because that's how it used to be.
Yeah,
right?
it's not going to happen.
4 pair of shoes on the wall that you wanted.
Yo, when I was younger, they had every Jordan colorway out.
But that's what I'm saying.
Every Saturday they had every color.
Saying. If they were to do that,
come back.
It's not going to come. I'm aware of this. But that's what got us into it, and that's when you didn't see people complaining about Nike.
Yeah, but that's when there wasn't like a sneaker head culture either. There was like, you knew everybody who was into the same shit as you. Didn't know it didn't matter if they was from the same area or not. You knew everybody because not everybody was into it. People didn't understand it. You would wear like regular like GR shoes, and people were like, "What the fuck are those?" I've seen those.
I don't even trip if I have dunks in my closet now, GRs from 20 years ago, and I'm like, yo, these are more fire than the hot shit that was.
No,
coming
for
out
sure, but people didn't get it. People didn't care back then.
Right, nobody cared. Now they care because
now everybody cares.
Week, social media, etc.
It's the internet.
But to me, the way to make people not care is to just flood it. You flood it. It's like, why are you showing that off? My man got them. My cousin got them.
Yeah, everybody has those.
Everybody got them. It's less of a stunt. It's just like, oh, you $80
now, can you rock them? Like, can you pull them off? Like, now do you look like the clown, or do you actually like? Yeah,
it's all good. What's the podcast? Episode 134.
We here.
There is a Nike Air Force One mid NYC. I don't do mids, bro.
Oh, okay. So that's good to know. I was just wondering about what everybody's consensus is on mids. I don't do mids either. Streetwear Eddie look like he does mids.
I don't. Definitely.
I don't do. I've had mids before when there wasn't like any lows available because you still
or
need
any
the fresh pair of
highs.
The highs, I do highs only in the wintertime. I don't like the highs. I don't like highs with like.
Oh, so you did mids only white on whites back in the day when there were no lows.
Yeah, when you couldn't get lows.
There was a drought on lows.
Yeah. But you got a crazy like freak the strap because you can't fasten it, but you can't let it go because that shit gets crazy. So you got to like tie it into the laces through the loop and like, yeah, it's a whole thing. But no, I like white on white lows. If I'm gonna do Air Force Ones, I'm gonna do white on white lows. That's like,
the only mids that I think I have are the flax, and those got to be at least, what is this, 21? Those got to be at least 7, 8 years old.
I don't
like
have
I got them from Commonwealth.
Mids. I don't have any mids. If I ever had mids, they was definitely like on some like Clark Kent shit wearing one time out the window, like only because they didn't have any of the white on white lows. I just bought the mids and like wear them and done, one and done.
Yeah, I don't do mids either, man. That strap kind of bothers me.
Yeah, crazy.
But
the height doesn't bother me.
The height doesn't bother me either.
It's the strap. Just like if they put like a high strap on a mid, that shit would be fire.
Yeah.
You know,
you got to put a full strap on it, or
that way you could take it off, put it on. Like the highs, you could take it off, put it on.
Yeah.
Because I like rocking highs sometimes with no strap.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of people going crazy for that gray pair.
They can have them.
NYC on it, and
they can have them.
Yeah, nah. I mean, listen, that's one.
I don't like the jewels.
If I get my hands on it, I'm gonna flip it.
I don't like the jewels.
I don't like jewels either.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I respect it. You know, I was around that era the first time it came around. I get it, but I'm not a fan of it.
Me neither.
I don't like that pebbled leather with the jewel either. I think it's just not. It's not a good combo.
I don't mind the pebble leather, but with a regular swoosh itself, I just don't even fuck with it. I have pairs that are for my kids, but they look different in little kid sizes, and that doesn't bother me so much. But, in adult sizes, I don't fuck with that at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all good. We know what that's hitting for. What's the podcast episode 134? Shout out to our guy, the legend. I don't know if there's anybody that's more dedicated to their team than Awthentik. Awthentik.
Speaking of exclusivity and rarity,
we're getting here, people.
Yeah.
Let me do the proper introduction. Let me do the proper introduction. So Awthentik runs a studio here in Washington D.C. We recorded our first 2 years? 2 years. First 2 years of the podcast. We were there All or Nothing Studios. We were there for the first 2 years.
First year and a half.
Year and a half. All right.
Yeah.
And pandemic hits. Awthentik is a genius when it comes to the electronics and things. So he was able to pivot his love for professional football and specifically the New York Giants. He hosts a very, very, very popular stream show, sort of just like
podcast.
Him and Tim, right?
Tim the Beard,
who's a crazy Redskins fan.
And a collector and a vintage seller of many things, right?
Facts. Listen, Renaissance man.
You know who I just saw? I just saw them on Instagram. I hadn't seen Instagram. I just saw Chris Hall on Instagram.
Shout out to the God.
He's the God for real. Like I was thinking about. I was like, damn, Abdul could have mentioned Chris Hall.
You know what?
Really got some points.
It was on my list of things to say, but as I said, there's so many things I wanted to talk about on the Complex podcast and completely fucking forgot, man. Chris Hall is a DMV fucking legend. I don't even fuck with skateboarding, but on the sneaker tip, the king of SMUs early 20, 22 years ago, getting special.
Yeah, it was like him. It was like him and Clark. It was like him and Clark.
Yeah, like literally, it was like two people and like Fat Joe. Like they were, and
he's like the only like non-celebrity.
Yeah, he's the only. Those other guys are like famous, right? And it's like Chris Hall.
Yeah,
like his plug at Nike. One day we got to get Chris on the show, man, just to talk about those days, because I would love to hear some of those stories from how you.
I mean,
got his foot.
I think he had something to do with the start at Nike SB as well. Don't quote me, but I think he had a lot to do with that. I know.
Yeah, I mean, legendary skater from
the first couple of ads.
I think the first run of SB, he was definitely involved.
He was in the first Nike skateboarding ad too, wasn't he?
Yeah,
wasn't that filmed at Freedom Plaza?
Yeah, he was wearing Air Force Ones, and Reese Forbes was wearing some old Nike.
And
tennis.
Reese Forbes is also from this area.
He's from Maryland.
Reese Forbes was wearing the Nike SB tennis, which
that never came out. I don't think.
That never came out. Well, they did do some SB tennis later on.
I don't even know if those were SBs. I think there was like a Chris Hall, like wear these in the ad type shoes, because they like the purple and green Wimbledon color SB.
Yes.
fire. Yeah.
Now, listen, I would love to. And you know what's so crazy is I don't think people know the legend of Chris Hall. They don't
But
even
those that know though.
Yeah.
Those that know.
We're
But here's what I'm saying though.
Yeah.
Put that on sneakers. Put that on sneakers.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That's the kind of shit that people want to know and learn about it.
Yeah.
Put Chris Hall. We're gonna tag him on this episode. But anyway, we're gonna go back to Awthentik because we got But Awthentik was gifted, I believe, a 1-of-1 Giants colorway Nike Dunk. We will repost it in our story, but when you hear this, he was gifted a 1-of-1 Nike Dunk from the Giants and Nike, I believe, right?
Yeah,
it
came from Nike.
So listen,
Giants.
Awthentik's podcast and YouTube stream is incredible. The comment section is like you've never seen it before.
Yeah, it's crazy.
For like a non-video game stream. You know what I'm saying? Like video game stream is one thing, but he always shows us
production is crazy.
Production.
You know what's also go ahead. Let's pick up Awthentik some more.
Yeah, he just the tie-in and the belief and the love that these Giants fans have for Awthentik and the knowledge that he has. I'm waiting for the Giants to hire him. I'm waiting for him to put up the I just got hired by the Giants. I'm moving to New Jersey type post. You know what I'm saying?
It could happen. It could happen.
Social media dead ass will make
it should happen. It should happen.
I give it a year to 2 years. I promise you it's gonna happen.
He should he should be recording his podcast live from the games in like a Giants box.
Or just working for the Giants.
Yeah, like doing that.
His view of things is so good. The energy that they have.
Yeah,
watching people pay to leave comments.
And Tim the Beard should get hired by the Washington football team.
Yeah, Tim the Beard's the man too. But it's incredible. Shout out to Awthentik. I did see them. They're fantastic.
Yeah. So it looks like I actually talked to him. He was like, "Yo, did you see the dunks I got? The 1-of-1s?" I was like, "What?" I'm like, "What?"
I'm gonna have to buy those. I'm gonna buy those off you. How much you want for them?
So apparently he designed them on his computer and tagged the Giants on it a while back, like last year or some shit like that.
And then shit! And they made
6 years later. 6 months later, the box showed up at his house.
Oh my goodness!
That's how the whole shit happened, and with a note from the Giants
and Nike.
Well, the box came from Nike, but there was a note in it from the New York Giants. Fuck, man, he sent me a picture of it, but I can't seem to open it anymore. Because it was on my DM. But either way, it was a note from the Giants thanking him for his podcast and for being a fan of the Giants. So
that's beautiful.
It's tight how it even came around, man. And he's a big New York Giants fan. And you know, obviously he has the successful podcast also helped to all of this happening. So shout out to Awthentik. If those dunks, they probably sent him a size 9, I think. And I don't think Awthentik is a size 9. So we need to get that information. Because if them shits is a size 9, I'm probably going to have to take them from him.
They probably his size.
How would they know his size?
Because he probably sent them the screenshot of him mocking him up and it was his size.
Yeah, but I don't think he put a size on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know.
Maybe.
It would be tight if they came in his size. But if they didn't, and they sent him a size 9, Awthentik, them shits are mine, son. I'm coming for them.
Yo, how you gonna son dude for a sneaker?
Nah, I'm taking them shits. I know where he lives.
We definitely know where he lives. We did the podcast there. Fucking 18
I don't think you getting those without a fight.
Nah, you ain't
I'll
getting
fight
those.
Him. Yeah.
But shout out to Awthentik, man. It was just so awesome to see him get the recognition for he truly loves.
Yeah.
He loves that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Nike skateboarding in DC in general, we also want to give a big shout out to Darren Harper.
Yo,
DC. Shout out to Darren Harper.
Saw the video yesterday. A video went viral of him of his daughter ollieing off down at Freedom Plaza. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I did.
Off the big ledge.
That was amazing.
Off the big ledge, yeah. So I believe that's I don't know all of his daughters.
This is his youngest daughter.
I don't know if it's his youngest
one.
I don't think
it's his 2.
I don't think it's his youngest. But
that's what I'm about to say. I don't think it's his youngest.
The younger of the 2 that are out there with them.
Yes.
The younger of exactly.
That's more accurate.
She nails the ollie. Now the older one is nice. He's been sort of highlighting her growth.
If you don't follow him on IG, follow him on IG.
And she's also older too, so I get it. So the younger daughter pulls the ollie, nice, like 4 tries, 3-4 tries, locks it in. The older daughter comes through with the kick flip, boom, bolts down, like literally nailed it beautifully. Beautiful kick flip. And social media went crazy, man, as they should. You know what I'm saying? Like he's been a pioneer out here for the past 20 plus years skating.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's been holding it down. He's very authentic. You know what I mean? Supreme learned about that authenticity firsthand. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? Down at Freedom one day. And you know, shout out to him and his people, you know, for sure.
Is he's not skating anymore, is he?
Yeah, he's still skating. He's
professional. Oh, he does.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I think he skates for Nike. I think he might skate for DGK still.
That's tight.
That's
crazy because him and Stevie Williams had some sort of friction back in the day.
Nah, him and what's the dude's name? Had friction. I think him and Stevie had like
him and Stevie had friction,
they had a little friction, but he got into it with the dude Spencer.
Okay, because
him and Stevie had a little friction, but I remember they got out of it.
I remember 13, 14 years ago when Stevie came out here. Shout out to our guy Mitch from the Dream Team had Stevie come out here for a few parties and a whole bunch of shit. Something at Palace 5, which is a local skate shop here, and I remember there was some friction happening and you know some mediation had to happen, and I think they became cool after that weekend, but. I definitely remember that. So
we get them on the show.
They're good, but they're good now because Stevie Williams is the first.
We'll get Darren on the show.
I follow Stevie on Instagram. When you look at Darren Harper's name, the first person that it comes up is followed by Stevie Williams. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, they homies.
Yeah. Black men in skateboarding. It's all love.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? It's all love. Yeah, for sure. So make sure you check out that particular clip. I'm watching it right now.
You can't help it. It's everywhere. It's all over.
But they killed it, and her pop on the kick flip was just tremendous. It was even a bit of a late flip. Like it's amazing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So
they got it.
Yeah, what's the podcast?
It's in the genes. You can't help it.
100%. 100%. Yeah, for sure.
With a episode. Like that, are you kidding me?
Episode 134 was a podcast. We are now going to say, what is Abdul watching?
Oh man. So I got done binge watching Billions, which I talked about, and I started binge watching Succession, which is another show on HBO. I'm on season 1, episode 5, I believe. They're two seasons down and about to go into the 3rd season. But what else did I watch, man? I started to watch the Dave Chappelle comedy special on Netflix.
Oh, that shit was amazing.
And my wife told me to cut it out because she wanted to watch it with me together. So I think I was like 5 minutes in, and she was like, "Yo, fam, turn that shit off."
That shit is amazing.
Together tomorrow. So we're gonna watch that. I'm excited for it. You know, there's been a lot of talks about people trying to cancel Dave. Dave, to me, uncancelable. You know what I'm saying? He's just one of those guys. You can't get him
he's not. You can't cancel him because he's too upfront and honest with it.
Not only that,
that doesn't mean he can't be wrong though. Like
no.
He is of that ilk of a lot of them niggas who are now like fucked up and wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like Kweli, his views are crazy. Most Def, some shit he be on is crazy.
I haven't heard any of that stuff. And both of those two dudes could be canceled, and they roll with Dave. I just don't think Dave can be canceled.
They do a podcast together.
I don't think Dave himself can be canceled.
Dave himself can be canceled. I'm not
saying
the people
uncancel himself. He'll uncancel himself.
I think anybody.
I think outside, short of like rape charges or something that crazy, like you know what I'm saying. I just don't think you can.
Yeah, he had to be Me Too to get canceled.
Yeah,
but his mouth ain't gonna get him canceled.
Nah, it's not gonna be the shit he says about people.
He's not. He's not.
If anything, all these other parties saying stuff about him, trying to get him canceled, only makes him.
Well, he touches on that a little bit during this comedy, during this special, so you'll see.
But I started to watch it. The first 5 minutes were funny. A lot of people were saying, "Yo, this special was a little bit not as funny as everything else," but to me, it was pretty fucking funny.
Nah, it's funny.
And I'm only 5 minutes in, so
it's funny.
I'm excited to watch the whole thing. You know, some of the things I would just gone to like the baby shit when he was talking about the baby murdered somebody in
in a
Walmart
yeah.
in North Carolina.
Yeah, but that was self-defense.
I wish he had mentioned that was in self-defense.
But he just sort of touched on like, like he murdered somebody and like we don't care about that. But like,
but the context is important.
It is important.
Yeah, but murder is still murder.
Murder is still murder. But
but if you know the story,
one thing to be defending yourself.
I know the story.
Yeah, so the context is important.
Yeah. It was justifiable.
Right.
100%. But he forgot. He did not mention that. Like if he had said it was justifiable homicide against somebody who tried to take him out, then everything changes. Yeah. Right. So
he also said, the baby fucked up by saying what he said. He's an idiot.
Sure,
too,
sure, and I get it. It's it wasn't in the place because that did not line up well with the joke, right? It fucks up the execution of the joke when that one detail is mentioned. So
most of his listeners don't know it was justifiable,
right? But it would have been nice to bring that up to those people just so that they know that this guy who's a rapper is not just out here crazy killing people.
Let the pilgrims know that he isn't a murderer. He's in self-defense.
What else? My wife just started watching the impeachment shit on FX, which is the story about Bill Clinton and that first impeachment trial. And she said the shit is fire. So I'm going to watch that as well. We talked about the Wonder Years and the remake of it with the new Black family. That's now on ABC. I'm trying to watch. They're remaking a lot of shows. I gotta watch that Wonder Years joint. But there's also a new Doogie Howser. Y'all remember Doogie Howser back in the day?
Yeah, the first, of course,
the
child doctor.
Yeah. So now there's a new version of that, and it's a young girl doctor. I don't know how old she is, but I've seen the commercial, and I'm gonna watch that as well, man, because I used to love Doogie Howser, man. I love that show. You remember his boy Vinny or whatever it was, who's also now still in movies. He was in The Sopranos at one time. He was on The Deuce, also on HBO, which is another show that had Method Man in it and a whole bunch of other people. He played like a porn director or some shit like that. So he's doing well. Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I don't know if I have any other shows, man. I didn't. Oh, Streetwear Eddie sent me his credentials to the Stars app, and I started to watch In the Long Run, which is the sitcom with Idris Elba, and it's loosely based probably on his life.
Yeah, that's what they said.
It's set in the early '80s. And it's about a Sierra Leonean immigrant coming to England for the first time. And it's a comedy. It's really, really funny. It kind of gives me something about Chris vibes. You know what I mean? What was the name of that show? Is it something about Chris?
Rock show?
Yeah. It kind of gives me that sort of vibe. But really good. I went through the first season already. I'm on season 2. The Stars on Demand for Xfinity only had season 3 on it. And season 1 and 2 were not available, but it is on the Stars app. So I've been watching that and then just streaming my phone right to the TV. So once I get through season 2, I can just go right on.
If you got Apple TV, just download the app from the App Store on your Apple TV and log in the same credentials, and you don't have to stream it from your phone.
Oh shit! There's a Stars app. Okay.
Yeah,
God.
On the App Store on Apple TV. Yeah, same.
I do have Apple TV.
Yeah, just download. I download all my streaming apps to my TV. That way you don't have to shoot it from your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
same,
my God, I'm a
same
fucking
login.
idiot.
Yeah, same login.
Yeah. All right. Good looking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that right after this, actually. So, yeah, that's it for TV, man. In the Long Run, go watch that shit, man. It's really, really good, and it's very interesting to see a show on TV about Sierra Leonean immigrants, and it makes me happy. So,
oh yeah,
there is I believe they're beginning a Sex and the City spinoff. I know y'all watch TV. I don't know if that's important to y'all. They're filming a Sex and the City
Sex
spinoff.
and the City.
There also was our guy Julian Kimball, very, very, very early guest.
Yes,
he actually wrote about the Many Saints of Newark. Have you guys watched that?
Yes, I started to watch it. I didn't fuck with it.
He basically was saying how it tries to atone for the sins of the Sopranos, and how ultimately he was unable to do that because of some of the things we spoke about earlier.
Okay.
So Julian's is incredible writer.
Yeah.
So it's good to
writer. Okay.
thought-provoking writer, yeah, for sure. So that's the more TV. I don't really do TV that crazy, but other than that, I mean, musically, there's not too much out there, honestly. But I mean, we're out here, episode 134.
Yeah.
What's a podcast? Shout out to everybody who. Oh, Kyrie Irving is not going to be allowed to practice or play.
Practice or play.
Yeah, because they practice in New York. They practice in the Guard or in Barclay, right?
In Brooklyn, yeah.
If you have to have the shot to play there, then you can't practice there. Well, he can only play away games if they let him play. Because
no, they're not letting him. They're not letting him play at all.
So he's not getting paid this year.
Kyrie Irving will not play or practice with team until he is a full participant. Because the conversation was, let's have him play on the road games. But
yeah, that's what they said.
But what they were saying, but obviously one that sets a terrible precedent for people in this space.
Yeah, that means you don't have to practice and still get to play in a game.
Right. And then at the same time, NBA, you need to practice. They need their full team there. Yeah. So I believe what they're going to end up doing.
It's a team sport, yo.
You have a couple different options. Kyrie may retire. Kyrie may get the vaccine to play. You have to be fully vaccinated in New York.
He's not going to get the shot.
So that's a whole month and a half, right?
Or you get that Johnson one shot.
Or you get Johnson, right? So you figure
third best.
Yeah,
as Dave Chappelle put it.
Moderna boys. But basically, he either retires,
third best.
He either gets the shot, and if he takes too long to get the shot, the Nets are just going to sue because it's.
Well, can't he get traded to a different team that doesn't require to have shots?
His people already said that if he gets traded, he's just going to retire.
Okay.
So.
Well, he's an idiot. He's gonna fumble the bag just because he won't get a shot and go.
Netflix CEO argues that Chappelle's new special, criticized as transphobic, is too popular to cancel.
Yeah, they said they're standing with Dave. They're not taking it off.
Yeah.
It's not that crazy.
I'm gonna watch it tonight with the wife and
because he talks about his personal experience with a trans friend of his, and that's how he
who committed suicide, right?
Yeah,
the same person.
Yeah,
and there was just a transgender comedian on the Don Lemon show today or a few days back who was saying how hypocritical the LGBTQ community was towards that woman because Dave had done so much for her, but when all these comments came out, she kind of stood with Dave or something like that, right? And they then went after her so badly. The lady insinuated, the comedian, the transgender comedian insinuated that it was all that bashing from the LGBTQ plus community that led the woman to suicide.
I believe it.
Don Lemon jumped right in then at that point. It was like, chill, fam. We don't know what led the woman to suicide.
Right.
Which is the right thing to do because nobody really knows what's going on in that woman's heart, right? But in that transgender comedian's heart. Yeah, you gotta be careful with the terms, and I apologize if I fucked it up right here.
No, you can call her a woman.
You get money.
Trans woman.
It is, yeah. I don't even know. I don't know.
So, yeah, it is interesting. I haven't got to that part on the special yet, but yeah, I'm curious to see how it goes. So yeah, I'm gonna.
So
watch that.
there is we're just freestyling some topics before we get out of here, people, just to keep you up to date on things. There's a footwear company called Pinsole. Are you guys familiar?
Yeah, it's an academy. They
Pinsole
teach designers to
the Pinsole Footwear Design Academy founder Dwayne Edwards has acquired the Lewis College of Business in Detroit, Michigan's first HBCU, originally founded in 1928. The Pinsole Lewis College of Business and Design will open in 2022 with free tuition and design education access.
Amazing.
Stellar.
Amazing.
Stellar. Oh my God. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, the Pinsole Academy is based in Portland, actually. And yeah, a lot of people now working for these big brands, whether it's Adidas or Nike or Jordan brand, have come out of Pinsole Academy, man. It's a very big deal. And they were also the sponsors. I don't know if you guys remember, but I went to this footwear conference for the black people in footwear business here in DC a few years ago. I went to go see a friend of mine, Astor Chambers, and Pensole Academy was one of the sponsors of that show, and this gentleman Dwayne was actually there at that time.
Dope.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful thing just to see that level up. You know what I'm saying? I always talk about reaching back and giving back to the people. This is the ultimate measure of that. Yeah, I love it. So it's all good. Episode 134 was the podcast.
Real quick before we end, did you guys see Michael Jordan's statement on the vaccine, which I thought was great?
He said he believes in science.
I believe in science. I'm a firm believer in science, and I agree with that.
That's it.
The NBA is handling this shit. I'm in total unison with the league, and I think everybody, has been speaking about vaccinations, and I'm a firm believer in science, and I'm going to stick with that, and hopefully everybody abides by whatever the league sets the rules. I think once everybody buys in, we're going to be fine. That's, I think, the important part of this. Once everybody buys in, we'll be fine, right? Like at some point, the carriers of COVID will go away if everybody's vaccinated.
Well, also, like, you're a role model too, man. So, like, come on.
Anyway, that's it.
Oh, real quick too. They just released, by the time you hear this, obviously it'll have been a couple days old, but the trailer for the Colin Kaepernick documentary. No, I'm sorry, new series. The Netflix shares official trailer for Colin Kaepernick's new series.
I'm excited about that. What is that? Is it a documentary or?
It says new series, so I'm believing it's going to be a multi-episode,
like a six part.
Yeah.
Documentary.
Sure.
That dude, the Raiders coach that you were talking about earlier, John Gruden, was trending on Twitter, and I clicked on it and not knowing a whole lot about him, but there was a lot of like, Kaepernick told you, Kaepernick said this. Does anybody know what that's about? Like
with John Gruden?
Yeah. What
so
was
basically,
his relationship with Cap?
I don't know his relationship with Cap per se. I think
Kaepernick was sort of out in all the NFL.
No. So okay, real quick. Basically, what happened was that they've been doing an audit of the Washington football team. These emails, 600,000 emails or something like that. And within that audit, they found emails from Gruden to the president of the Washington football team, and they found him making racist comments against the NFLPA president at the time, DeMaurice Smith.
Players Association.
Yeah. So then what happened is, as they continue to find more email, that was like last Monday. As of like last Thursday, Friday, they started to find the emails about
Kaepernick.
No. They found the emails about him starting to bash gay people.
Oh,
okay. The commissioner and gay people, trans, all sorts of black people protesting, everything. My man had 10 years worth of just filth,
like hate mail.
But like, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people were feeling some kind of way. They feel like, the comments against black people weren't bad enough for him to be fired. It was the comments against the LGBTQ community, that were the ones that basically brought him up on where he needed to resign, which is what he did.
All his comments should get him fired.
His comments absolutely should have got him fired. Yeah. But it was funny because an NFL, a guy on ESPN said he did a clean sweep of bigotry. Like he literally commented on every single thing. And it's what got him fired because he just was in such a bad. He just was wilding. Like he was privileged, wilding, piece of shit.
Piece of shit. That's
piece of shit, and just sort of like he said that Schefter said Gruden did a clean sweep of offending people. Basically, he took everybody out. You know what I mean? So Gruden deserves it. Many more people in his space deserve it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be smarter out there, people. But What's a Podcast, episode 134. We did that. We did it. Shout out to my guy. Always available, #SheWear Eddie.
Peace, y'all.
Don't Charge Abdul, aka he's on the phone getting some sneakers. It looks like it's really going down over there. This is DJ Jerome Baker III, and we're out. Peace.
Peace.